You can take your belt and shove it up your ass.
Why aren't you running your own stuff, man? You could be doing big business and it'd be more satisfying.
I know. Spooky Lou, another wonderful WrestleRoni for me and for you. Coming to the show today, MickorAstroMick. How we feeling, my man?
I feel fantastic. Especially after last weekend. Thanks for asking.
Man, what a weekend. That's why I invited you on. I met you at Marcus Twist's birthday deathmatch sock hop and just ran into you outside, and we kind of hit it off, became fast, chummy friends, and here we are.
Yep.
What brought you to Marcus Twist's birthday deathmatch sock hop?
Well, our good friend BJ, she was talking it up and introduced me and invited me out there, and and I said, well, got some time off I need to take, and it's a little bit of a long drive for me from Toledo, so it's about 4.5 hour drive, so I had to take the day off to head on down there early Friday, and just go, and she knows what I do. She sees what I do on Instagram, and she said, hey, come on down, this will be a fun time. And I said, absolutely. So went down there, and rest is history.
Man, isn't it though? I'm so glad you joined us, man, because it was super important to us. Was it worth the drive?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I had a great time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Morgantown, man, I never knew Morgantown existed. That was such a great place.
Morgantown's
great
the best.
venue. That art party, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's my kind of place right there.
Okay.
It's just that's punk rock, that's metal, that's just absolute craziness.
No doubt.
And then deathmatch wrestling, that's like everything that I'm all about. So
there you go. You're the guy that would know, So it's awesome having you. Like I say, I get on your Instagram after I saw you posted my chair shot, and I was like, oh, this guy knows deathmatch wrestling. Look at this, man. My goodness. So, give me your first impressions of the old Morgantown, West Virginia no ring deathmatch scene. What's the first impressions after watching this show?
Well, it's definitely it looks like it's right on the edge to blow up. You have, not just the sock hop the other day, but I was talking to Chris out there from Negative Outlook.
Yep.
He has a really cool thing going out there. It was kind of great to network with him a little bit. So it sounds like there is a lot of cool stuff happening out there, and it was interesting because when I think of wrestling, I don't exactly think of West Virginia, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, I get it.
I kind of feel like, if anything, you guys are probably redheaded stepchild, when it comes to, big companies coming through, WWE, AEW. Well, fuck those guys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You guys you're building something out there, and the fact that you're able to even pull deathmatch off. I live in Ohio. We can't fucking do deathmatch here. I have to go over the border, which is fantastic. It's only, Detroit's only an hour away from me. So,
right.
So, I mean, I have to go into Michigan for it. You guys can do it there. It really just sounds like it's something you guys are building on. It's a scene that you guys can make happen and thrive, especially with guys like, Marcus Twist, and I saw Rucker, was that his name?
Anthony Rucker, my dude.
Yeah, and yeah, he was he did some interesting stuff in a no ring. Maybe he didn't go quite as deathmatchy as he could have,
Yeah.
but he definitely did some stuff
His
that
first
I
no
was
ring
impressed
match.
by.
Yeah, his first
I
no
could
ring match, and he's never done a death match. I mean, he's in his second year now, so
I could say I was impressed.
hell yeah.
He's definitely learning and doing some good stuff. And I know you don't like the boy, but Lane was pretty great too.
I
He
know.
did basically two matches in one night, and I was psyched, absolutely psyched to see Beastman
Yeah, Beastman whooped his ass, didn't he?
there. He did.
Got his ass. Got your ass,
I
Lane
was
Callie.
I was so excited because I'll tell you that's going to kind of bring everything together there because Beastman was in that BJW tournament on New
Mm-hmm.
Year's,
Mm-hmm.
and you got my boy Chuck Stein from Total Fucking Chaos. Those are my boys.
Mm-hmm.
I know those guys. You had Mickey Knuckles, who's a big part of my scene. You had Eric Dillinger, who
Mm-hmm.
absolutely tore the house down,
Mm-hmm.
and he lost.
Right.
He absolutely tore the house down. So, to see Beastman come out, I was like, this is amazing.
Hell yeah.
I'd never seen the guy live, and
Really?
I'm
Okay.
seeing him in I'm seeing them in basically what we would call a hole in the wall. Not
Definitely.
that's not being
It is.
that's not being negative,
Right.
but yeah, to see him there and to see him do his thing, I loved it when he picked up Marcus and he hit a dude with the dude. That's deathmatch right there.
No doubt. So good. So good. Yeah. Beastman popping up. We had the POR guys in the house. Zeke Mercer was there.
POR,
What a mix of
right?
people.
Yeah, it was good to see JJ.
Mm-hmm.
He's another one. He's always up at Horror Slam. I'm always filming for Horror Slam. I'm always at Horror Slam.
Okay.
And you have him, and I never really met any of the other POR guys. I've never made it down here or down there, I should say, to check out any of their shows.
Mm-hmm.
But again, TFC guys, they're always out there,
Yeah.
and hardcore and Will, they're always out there, and um, they're just as much of a part of deathmatch now.
Oh,
So love it.
I love some TFC. We've had Will on the show, big Brandon St. James guy, the whole crew. I love them all.
Brandon St. James. Now there's a dude I did not expect to show up the next night.
At RSW, yeah.
I was sitting there watching that match or the Rumble,
Mm-hmm.
and like his music starts playing and he comes out, and I was like, who? How?
Yeah.
I didn't expect it.
Yeah, welcome to
Didn't
West
expect
Virginia,
it.
baby. We got
No shit.
surprises. Yeah, we got some shit going on.
Exactly.
I swear to God, we do. The past couple years, we've been doing all right. I promise.
I could tell. I could tell. You guys really, between those two shows, I was real impressed with, the storytelling skills
Mm-hmm.
of the talent there.
Yeah, man.
Real impressed.
Like I say, just in the past couple years, everybody stepped it up. Every
Hmm.
promotion, the no ring stuff started up with From doing Negative Outlook. Now Twist ran his birthday show.
Hmm.
We're cooking, man. It's fun. We're having a good time. Tell me,
Yeah.
to my listeners in the local area, let them know what's going on the outside. What's going on up at Horror Slam up in Michigan? What are you seeing up that way?
Well, there's a few that I absolutely love and adore. Horror Slam's one of them. The one that really got me into deathmatch was RPW, Ruthless Pro.
Okay.
They're my buddy Peapod. He does commentary through there, and then Chris, who's the owner who runs it. We've become friends as well. There's just so many guys that come through there now. It started off, I think, Trey Miguel is
Mm-hmm.
from TNA Wrestling. I think he kind of helped them out a little bit at first as well.
Nice.
He wasn't in the death match, obviously,
Right.
but he was, he was kind of the name, I think, helping him out for the first maybe couple of shows, and it seemed like they were doing a pretty decent mix of regular, just your run of the mill wrestling, and slowly integrated death match into it, to the point to where their shows are almost pure death match.
Right.
I'm always out there for Ruthless. Unfortunately, the night of RSW was a show Ruthless was doing with We Love Wrestling up in Milwaukee,
Okay.
and I was like, I'm not gonna. Milwaukee's a little longer drive
That's a
for me.
hike.
So I was like, well, I'm gonna head on out to. I'm gonna head on out to see the show down the shows down in West Virginia. I think I'll be a little better off. And I'm
Yeah.
glad I did. I'm getting off topic here though. Yeah, so you have RPW, you have Flophouse Wrestling, who's
Okay.
run by Swartzy, and I'm pretty sure Randy West. That's it's a mishmash. Some of it's funny, some of it's more serious. Some of it's regular wrestling. I don't want to say regular wrestling. That sounds shitty, but it's your vanilla wrestling, and
Right.
then you have usually second half of the show is a bit more adult oriented with your death match and more extreme rules type matches.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have Gosh, I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Circle Six comes up around here. I know. We Love Wrestling. They're gonna make a stop here end of the month with Horror Slam. Oh, ICW No Holds Barred. They've been doing stuff with Horror Slam. So Horror Slam's really been making. They've been around for a long time, and they've been really making a name for themselves
Mm-hmm.
in our area, specifically Detroit metro area. So you know, they're really kind of like the big deal around town, you
Right.
know. But you can't sleep on Ruthless, because Ruthless they're expanding. You see them in Jersey. You see them in Houston. You're seeing them in Chicago, doing Berwyn Eagles, which is
Yeah.
wrestling mecca for the
Uh-huh.
Midwest. And man, I'll tell you, I love going to Berwyn.
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
love going out there. It's a little bit of a drive. It's a 4-hour drive for me, and I don't usually stay, but God, it's so much fun. It's always so much fun. I walk into that place, and I feel like a rock star. So many people know me.
Mm-hmm.
So many people, will come and say hi. It's just great people.
Uh-huh.
Especially when you have people like Germ T Ripper out there doing his thing, and you got his friend Rhea. She's a great gal. I love her, and just everybody else. My buddy Jack is out there. I'm sure he'll be stoked if he watches this and hear me name drop Jack.
What up, Jack? I love it.
So it's just it's so many people. It's like you walk in there, and I'm doing them a disservice by not remembering everybody, but it's such a great community wherever you go, and it overlaps. You'll see a lot of the same people. Like I always run into my buddy Crust Lord at shows. He'll be. I saw him up at in Milwaukee. I
Okay.
was like, damn, man, everybody was in Milwaukee.
Right.
So, and you got a lot of people like me who's just trying to, they enjoy this. They want to get it out there. A couple people I want to shout out. One is Midwest Girl 666. She's Charlie. She's a good friend of mine. She's from Toledo. She's always at the shows. She's getting her channel off the ground. You have Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm forgetting your name. He's been post.
Uh-oh. Happens. He'll be back, I guarantee it.
Don't know.
Oh, we lost you for a second. You're coming back, though.
Okay. All right. Great. Great. Great.
You thought so
Um,
hard it literally froze everything up, did you? It was
yeah. Let me
crazy.
see if I can. Oh, we're having power outages here.
Oh, yeah? Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
So if I
exciting.
drop off, man. Yeah. If I drop off,
I,
we'll do this again soon.
I
But
appreciate you regardless.
um. So yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people doing the exact same thing I'm doing. I just got lucky. It's like I posted a couple of videos, they went viral, and I got woo. Uh, they went
This is the
viral, and we
first.
got yeah, right, yeah. Mick the trendsetter.
Look at you
Mick,
go. It makes an exciting episode.
there you
I
go, there you go.
appreciate
Is it
you.
gonna happen? Is it gonna keep
Are we
happening?
going to get the cool deathmatch stories? Is he going to stick with us?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, it really just, we've got a great community here in the Midwest per se.
That's,
You see a lot of the same people, you see a lot of the same talent. You get to
mm,
know the talent. The talent's great. Talent is, they become friends as well. Like I said, I'm, pretty tight with the total fucking chaos guys, and there's other
smart.
people that I see all the time that I love, and they're just great to see, all the time.
And how
So
about the deathmatch community as a whole? Not just in local areas. I mean, as a whole, man, it's usually pretty cool and pretty welcoming. That's what I've found, at least. It
it
looks like
sure
it.
is, and it overlaps, man.
Yeah.
It overlaps. It doesn't matter. There's none of this, there's none of this red and blue bullshit. It's all red because it's blood.
There you go. There's a T-shirt.
It's blood red.
I love
Yeah, right. So,
it.
but yeah. So I mean, there's none of this. No, and we police our own. If somebody shows up and they're unsavory and maybe they're making a fool out of themselves, and we take care of them. We make sure they're either know that they're either not welcome. They need to settle down, or we get them the fuck out of there.
There you go. I take it you've seen this sort of
So,
thing happen.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
not too long ago in December, I think there were a couple of guys that were uh, raising kind of a fuss. They were playing the fool and saying some stupid shit at Horror Slam, and uh, like I said, my buddy Crustlord and another friend of ours got involved, and then yeah, the other guys had to be shown the door because
Well,
we're just not. Yeah, we want people to have fun. We want people to be rambunctious, but at the
right.
same time, don't be an asshole.
Yeah,
It's not
man.
about you.
There you go. Yeah.
So,
Thank you. And you can get lewd, crude, and everything, but come on, man, have some decency. I get it totally. And you're saying you're
well,
recording?
yeah.
Well, go ahead. Elaborate. Yes, I thought you were going to
Oh
answer.
no, no, I was just agreeing with you. Yeah, it's lewd and crude to a certain amount. You don't. We don't. We're all inclusive. We like to make people feel welcome, make people feel safe.
So the female variety, or those of the maybe the LGBTQ community, they're all welcome, and don't be saying stupid stuff to them. We'll show you the door.
There you go. Yeah,
You
man.
know.
Hey, man, I grew up
So
going to ECW shows, and I said a lot of wild shit.
oh,
But come on, if I can adjust. Now I can't hear me. And that was. And he sounded so much better, too.
once.
So you're saying you're recording for a lot of these companies, right? Recording video?
I generally record for myself.
Got you. Okay.
I pretty much I'm self-funded. This is a business. I have an LLC. This is all tax deductible. Everything. There's
Dope.
there's money to be made. But So I do get invited out. I do. There are times where I do score tickets, but for the most part, it's I go there and it's on my own dime.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a promotion for them, free promotion, and they will get they reap all the rewards, really.
There you go.
Especially when you see some of the growth, especially with places like Horror Slam and Ruthless.
Oh, we preach on this podcast all the time how important social media is to the growth of independent wrestling, deathmatch, whatever it may be. So we're always the first to say social media is going to help grow things. The reason I was asking about running camera, my first no-ring show that I filmed was Evil Ways outside of Pittsburgh. And we're talking Otis Kogar and Jason Gorey with just light bulb after light tube after light tube. It got to the point where I was just pointing the camera and looking the other way. Have you found yourself in some dangerous situations?
It's like boxing. You got to protect yourself at all times.
You got to know what's happening and how a match works.
Yeah, especially if you're sitting in the front row.
Mm-hmm.
I was a real big guy that really needed to have the front row at all times, and then I realized there were better places to stand at some of these.
Okay.
So, at that point, you're putting a few rows of people in between you.
Gotcha.
So,
yep, they're gonna catch the glass.
Right. But I have some videos. There were some close calls, but never anything real devastating that's happened to me. I don't think I've ever even gotten color. So
Okay.
I'm good at that part. I do know Lauren, who runs the Daily Dose of Death podcast. He films a lot at these shows, and when we were at King of the Kill 2 in Maybe, Michigan last summer, I think he got blasted pretty hard in the lip with some glass.
Oh yeah.
So he ended up having to get a little something done. But
it happens.
Me personally, no, I don't think. Sometimes that stuff flies your way, and you can kind of shield yourself, and you're all right. If you're smart, or you grab yourself some OSHA certified goggles or something. And
my first show, Twist, brought me safety glasses that I wore. So
yeah, exactly. And I wore them for a while. Like I said, I was a front row sort of guy for a while, and now it's just kind of like, just wear a comfortable pair of shoes and kind of move wherever the hell you want. You'll get a better shot that way.
Yep. It doesn't have to be right up on it. You're exactly right. So,
right.
How long you been going to deathmatch shows? Or even wrestling shows in general?
Well, I'll tell you, my first wrestling show was Wrestling Challenge back in 1987.
Really?
Toledo Sports Arena.
Nice. That's cool.
So that was probably, I don't know, 12, 13 years old.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. I just dated myself.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
But I didn't really start getting into shows until right after COVID.
Okay.
So I'll tell you what happened. I think in a way COVID kind of put things into perspective for a lot of people. It's great, if you just want to kind of live a sedentary life and chill out at home and watch TV or whatever, do the daily here and there. But after COVID, I was just like, you know what, I want to do some stuff. I want to check some stuff out. And right before I really started getting into deathmatch, so I'm kind of a late bloomer when it comes to deathmatch myself. I've always been a fan of Mick Foley. Mick Foley, King of the Death Matches. That was kind of like one of those holy grail things you found early on in life, and I was always a fan of ECW.
Oh yeah.
And that stuff was great. I don't think ECW really kind of scratched the surface though. What came later,
Right.
when you had FMW blowing people up in rings, and then you
Right.
had CZW and IWA Mid South, and some of the crazy shit they were doing in the early mid 2000s. And I never really got into that. At that point in time, I think I started getting into Ring of Honor a lot.
Okay.
And a lot of indies like that. TNA sort of started taking off
Mm-hmm.
at that point. You're really starting to see indie wrestlers, the people who were becoming the big stars of WWE in later years.
Yep.
Your favorite wrestler, I guarantee they started in one of these crazy rings. They wrestled in Berwyn. They wrestled in whatever crazy little bingo hall or VFW, however they want to, people want to talk it down. Well, sorry, CM Punk wrestled in back alleys and shit as everybody else did.
Damn right.
Mm-hmm. So so it's actually going to shows steadily. Started with again, my friend Peapod. He told me, hey, come on out. It was I think it was right after COVID. I think it was like maybe 2021. I went to one of my first Ruthless Pro Wrestling shows in maybe Michigan at the it is a VFW hall.
Nice.
But it also doubles as a biker club.
Okay.
So,
even better. I'm loving it.
Yeah. So so you had the VFW hall whole vibe. It's like the ring. It doesn't like nobody could do any real like high jumps or anything because they go through the ceiling.
Right.
Stuff like that. It was fun. So I was like, I could kind of check these out. And then a couple of shows in, I decide, hey, I'm gonna film this. Let me rewind a little bit, because I know I was talking about COVID. I just wanted to be out with people, be around groups of people, enjoying life, and not just staying home being like, am I gonna fucking die?
I got you. Yep. Right.
So I wanted to kind of just experience something. So I started going to more concerts. I started going to independent wrestling shows and trying to check things out. And not to say that I didn't do that before. There were some local Toledo shows that I went to ages ago.
Okay.
They're just nothing of note. Midwest Wrestling Federation. You may have seen a couple of guys. Actually, if you remember Crimson from
oh yeah. TNA.
I can't remember what he was from. Anyways, he's a guy from Toledo.
Okay.
CK3.
Okay.
So there were things that I saw, kind of going through, coming through Toledo,
right on,
in the past, but nothing of this nature. Just seeing just the absolute brutality of light tubes and barbed wire, just peeling away flesh and fire and
right
nonsense. I think Akira was there.
Okay. Hell yeah.
He was on that BJW show on New Year's.
I think he's gonna have their belt before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had Midwest Scum, who is Grimy Zach, gosh, names. I suck with names.
That's all right.
But Dread King Logan and Zach, who ended up being a part of 440 there near the end of it.
Okay.
Satu Jin is always at those shows.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure probably Mickey Knuckles and Randy West.
Okay.
Swarzy was probably there as well. I'd really have to dig back into that, though. You're putting me on the spot trying
My
to think
bad.
of that stuff. So
Testing you tonight. Hey, you still got power.
Right.
So, we're doing something right here.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So what really hooked me? So, the first deathmatch show I remember watching was on independent wrestling television.
Yep.
With it was the first IWC No Holds Barred show.
Nice. I remember watching that live on IWTV.
Yeah.
Nice.
And seeing Homicide pour bleach
Mhm.
into his mask, and I think was it who was it he
My
was
memory's
wrestling?
terrible.
Me too, but just seeing him pour that bleach in there and then put it on somebody's head, I said, that's fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Real or not, man, just the thought of that is crazy.
Yeah.
And then seeing Necro Butcher and Schlack and him
Yeah.
kind of passing the torch over to Schlack, and
Yeah.
it was some good stuff, man. It was some good stuff, and that kind of hooked me to the deathmatch thing. I started watching that, and I was like, I really wish these guys would come closer, and they finally did.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up finally seeing them back in. I think that was 20 summer of, or no, that was the fall of 2021. That would have been in Fenton, Michigan, with the Deathmatch Circus, and then Ruthless did a show with them as well. The first Inked in Blood show,
Okay.
which was fantastic. That was, I think, one of Hoodfoot Mo Atlas. I think it was one of his, if not his first death match, and that dude bled like crazy.
Yeah. I know the match you're talking. Yeah. Oh man.
Mm-hmm. Him and Madman Pondo.
I think he took a flaming chair at the show you missed this weekend, I believe. I saw a clip online. Somebody hit him in the head with a flaming chair this weekend.
Yeah. I think Schlack.
Yeah. And it's Schlack's birthday. Happy birthday, Schlack. I'm sure you're watching WrestleRoni.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm sure he's probably drunk.
I certainly hope so.
So I feel like you asked me about 5 questions and I didn't answer any of them, but
we're getting information, we're getting stories, we're getting the life, what's going on out there in deathmatch wrestling. So I love it.
Yeah.
So you're traveling the country. Yeah. Well, you're in the Midwest. You're not traveling the country. Yeah. Correct yourself.
I'd love to travel the country, but
eventually you
for
will.
Now.
Yeah, but you're seeing what's going on in the Midwest. You came down to West Virginia. Tell me some similarities, some differences, compare and contrast what you saw in West Virginia compared to what you're seeing up that way.
Well, I'll say just the similarities in just the DIY aspect of what was happening Friday night. Because what was happening Friday night as opposed to what happened Saturday night, you could tell it's 2 different productions.
Yeah.
So, and that's not talking ill of either one of them.
Right on.
Because both of them were fantastic. I think BJ and Marcus and you and everybody else involved did a fantastic job Friday night putting something together. At times by the seat of your pants, right down to the last minute, and dealing with all the different, all the card is subject to change bullshit that comes along with wrestling every time.
Oh, of course. That's a given.
Yeah.
It's a given.
It's the similarities. That's it right there. It's what you guys were doing Friday night, what they were doing Friday night, as opposed to what happens around here. It's all It's all inclusive. You can put whatever name you want on it. It's all gonna be deathmatch. It's gonna be no ring deathmatch. It's gonna be regular deathmatch.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Now the difference is the um, RSW show that I went to. Man, that was a great show. It was really well put together. It was real. There's a lot of good storytelling. It's a lot of great storytelling Friday night too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you could really tell there's a long history um, uh, of stories that storylines that have been running through and intertwining and things like that, and
Mm-hmm.
the talent. My God, the Golden Boys.
Yeah.
I got to spend some time with the Golden Boys. Those guys are fantastic and just great
Yeah,
guys. I
inside
mean,
the ring and out. Yeah, great dudes.
they're just great guys, and they just man, just the amount of imagination that they have and skill for doing it for so little,
Yeah,
for so not as long
yeah.
as some guys.
Shout out Golden
Um,
Boys.
yeah, absolutely. And I really wish I would have seen more of Marcus Twist, but we know it's okay.
He got held up in the aisle for like 5 minutes, then finally. But anyway, I tell you what I liked about Twist's no ring show. I've worked probably 5 no ring shows. Marcus's no ring show was like a Ramones concert. You had a match, clean up, match,
Right.
clean up. I had time to smoke one cigarette, and I'm literally outside smoking, and I hear him like, I'm the cameraman, Marcus. Like, give me a heads up. Like, I'm outside recording, and he's introducing the match. Like, Bubby, I even got a camera upstairs that I'm trying to turn on. It was like a Ramones concert, just go, 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 go. Which I think it
Mm-hmm.
added to it, man. It was a wild night.
Yep.
What do you think
Yep.
match of the night
Absolutely.
was? Let the folks know. Sell the folks why they should watch these matches on the channel. What'd you like about it?
Man, match of the night. Oh gosh. I really enjoyed now I'm gonna get his name wrong,
That's
but I think it was like Alex Muzak, or was it he was wrestling Paparazzi?
okay. Drex
What
Dyer and Paparazzi.
Drex that okay, I
Okay.
might be I might be I might be using this kayfabe name.
Oh
I'm sorry.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Drex, okay, that was a fun match. I like that the
Yeah.
use of the power drill. They had that cool like that makeshift table with the barbed wire wrapped through it.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of fun. But the DD Vice
Yep. You got it.
and
Roman 5-0.
Roman 5-0, yeah. That was a lot of fun too. There
Yeah.
was the end was really good. So if I'd say those are probably neck and neck for me, but the whole show, I think everybody kind of killed it.
Yeah. Uh,
It's real hard for me to just kind of pick.
you know my
You know,
pick. If
when
I have to pick an MVP, I might have to give it to George for being the vampire.
the
Man,
vampire thing killed me.
so good.
Oh my god! But I'm gonna see George all the time up at Horror Slam. He's a great guy.
Marcus and Mad Dog have been trying to bring in a vampire for years. They have tried to. They had a whole angle. They had the vignettes. They've been trying to bring a vampire to West Virginia wrestling for at least 3 years, and they finally got their way once Marcus Twist got to run a show. I tell you what,
That's amazing.
Marcus Twist. Let's hypothetically, Marcus Twist runs another show. We got to keep things going. What do you
Yeah.
change? What do you improve on? What do you keep the same? What did you like? What didn't you like? What advice would you give Marcus Twist on a second show if there was one?
A second show. I know sometimes it's hard to find guys that want to do no ring deathmatch. I know a lot of guys just want to do rings. So I understand that. I probably would add maybe another match or two. Um, I do like the idea of like bands.
Yeah.
With the shows, and I've seen it to where they've been integrated in between matches,
Mm-hmm.
where maybe they set up and maybe play a song or two while the cleanup's happening,
That
to
was the
kind of
plan.
keep people. Oh, okay,
We had a
okay,
band.
gotcha.
We had a band drop out. That's what Negative Outlook does. They have dancers and bands, so you get a
Okay.
match band dancer, match band dancer. It's pretty cool.
Um, the and beyond that, I mean, I think it was a really well put together show. For what you had and what you had to work with. So, um, not a whole lot of critique that I can give it beyond that. I had a lot of fun, and if you keep my attention for more than 5 minutes, you're doing good.
Hell yeah. Well, we're glad you had fun, man. I'm glad you came
I
out because
did.
yeah, you don't know who you're talking to. Like I say, I was just bullshitting with you outside, and then get
Yeah.
home, and I'm like, well, somebody posted my chair shot. It's got 6,000 views. What the hell is going on here? Like, so it was fun for us, man. Really cool. And if it happens
Yeah.
again, you'll be the first to know. Definitely.
I love it. I love it.
What are you
Bring
seeing
me
in the
out.
deathmatch scene? Where you think it's in a good place right now? The overall, what you're seeing overall,
Um,
what do you like? What don't you like? Hell,
Death
I don't know.
Deathmatch, right now, I think Deathmatch is probably the biggest it's ever been in America. You have so many companies now.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like anytime you know flip through your feed on social media, you turn on IWTV or Triller, you're gonna find some kind of death match going on at this moment. Everybody seems to be doing it. I think it's a good thing. It's like you need more places to have the guys and the gals, and those in between, who they need places to work. They need to make money on a Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night.
Right.
So it's getting bigger and bigger, and that's always a good thing. You just got to worry about burnout. You know,
Yeah.
um, I think sometimes deathmatch is a little too dependent on the weapons, which yeah, the weapons are a big thing. There's nothing more um, there's nothing more thrilling than hearing the pop of a light tube, or
Mm-hmm.
even like those poppers
Uh
that
huh.
they use on bats sometimes.
Uh huh.
There's nothing more thrilling than just that jolt that you get from the pop,
Right.
and there's nothing like it. But there is these things they're not a renewable resource. They're not going to be around forever. You have to find other things. That's why I like guys like hardcore, who you give him $10 in a dollar store, and he's going to come out up with some absolutely heinous shit that he's going to do to somebody in his match, or himself,
Yeah.
which usually is the case.
Yep.
um, but I think with you shouldn't be as reliant on the weapons, and maybe make sure like you're a bit more of a hybrid style, where you have an Akira, you have like your Eric Dillingers, and guys like that who can put on a great wrestling match as well.
Right on.
Some of the greatest matches I've seen, like um, uh, Akira and Drake Younger,
Mm.
wrestling in Chicago over the fall. That was a fantastic match.
I've heard. Yeah.
And it felt like there was another one with Drake and Tommy Vendetta at Horror Slam, where I felt like for the first 10 minutes of the match they didn't touch a light tube, they didn't
Really.
touch a weapon. They just wrestled the whole time, and
Nice.
it's stuff like that. I really feel like you have to also focus on the fact that it is wrestling
Right on.
and not just a fucking car crash. Not that the car crash is bad. Some people watch NASCAR for the car crashes.
Right on. Yeah. But
So,
to me, the
as for
opportunity's
like,
there, you take it, That, for real,
right.
the opportunity's there to tell a story any way you like. It doesn't have to just hit you with the tube, hit me with the tube.
Exactly. It's as much as I like that shock and I like that, I live for that 10-second moment that I can post on Instagram that'll last forever.
There you go.
Um, but I still, if I'm gonna kind of sit back and relax and watch something, I really want to see a good story unfold.
Right on.
So um, the I always worry about anything once it starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger is the burnout
Mm-hmm.
and maybe oversaturation or the the tryhards coming out and you know maybe they're offering something another group isn't,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, um, it doesn't appeal to everybody. I guess that's not a bad thing, but at the same time, I think you really want to draw a crowd as much as you possibly can and not just, have your own little inside jokes and stuff like that. I don't know
Yeah.
if that makes sense or not, but
Yeah. It does. Certainly does. And I think
yeah,
everybody's doing really well. Expect the organizations that are organizations, your H2Os, your Circle 6, your
yeah,
ICW, GCW, we can go on. The reputable
yeah.
organizations are doing their thing very well right now, I think.
And I feel like at times, you mentioned GCW. GCW is probably the closest thing we've ever had to ECW.
Yeah.
Because it has the lucha, it has the death match, it has the technical, has
Mm-hmm.
just straight out brawls. It really has that ECW feel. Sometimes I think it hurts it a little bit at times, especially that first
Mm,
Hammerstein show that they did. I
yeah.
felt like they relied a little bit on the ECW nostalgia a little too much. This last one
True.
was pretty good though.
And
So
thank you for that. I don't think this second one got enough praise. Yeah, shit went haywire, but they recovered nicely. And the way everybody shit on the first
yeah,
one, how about we praise the second one because I think everything came out except for that.
it was a great show. I just sucked that Allie broke her leg.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that put a damper on things,
it
and
did.
the New York Sports Commission is a bunch of fucking
Oh
assholes, and they
man,
wouldn't let the show go on.
that was still a
You
moment.
know,
Homicide getting on the mic and cussing him out. That's a moment, baby. Like
for sure.
almost worth it. Not Allie getting hurt. The delay. Let me clarify on that.
No, I
Yeah,
know, I
the
know exactly
delay's
what you
worth it.
meant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I've
yeah.
got
It's
people to
like,
watch. Just
look, you move somebody out, you put them in the ambulance, you take them out to the hospital. Why does the fucking commission guy get involved?
the commission.
So
Every commission.
that's the
Their
whole problem in
jokes.
Ohio.
Yeah.
It's a cash grab. It's a cash grab. It's stupid.
Well, PA's
So
crazy. PA's crazy. West Virginia, we're just outlaws. Hell, come on down and beat each other up. Let's go. I love it.
right,
Yeah.
we'll find an old barn somewhere and just smack each other with sticks.
It's been done. I guarantee it. No doubt. Hey, back in my day, I was doing backyard in a barn. I guarantee it. So,
Oh, I'll tell you what. When I first saw backyard wrestling, I was way too old to be doing that shit. So there was no way I was going to be doing it.
okay.
It's like so I just seeing it's like, man, these fucking kids, they're fucking dumb. But then you see them doing shit, and you're like, wow, all right,
Yeah.
okay,
Some of those
you know,
guys, you talk about Trey Miguel earlier, Alex Zane, some of those guys made names for themselves. Shoot, a bunch
oh
of
yeah,
Myron Reed.
yep,
I was
yep.
I was Jimmy Hotballs.
Jimmy Hot Balls, I love it.
Jimmy Hotballs,
I love
baby.
it.
Cock of the walk. That's where I got that mean chair shot from.
Yeah, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Back.
Were you always missing, or did you ever,
What was it
did you
now?
miss your
Oh
target?
yeah, yeah.
Did you?
That's like my thing. That's my thing in
Oh,
wrestling. I
okay.
just screw up everything for everybody. I have the best intentions. I was joking with my wife. I think I'm just going to start and just circling ringside every match just to make the crowd nervous. He's going to screw up this
Just
match somehow. I know Spooky
so
Lou's going to screw it up somehow. I think I'm just going to start doing that.
that's why the lights were going out. The lights were going out because we were talking.
Guarantee it. Guarantee it. It's my whole thing, man. If you only knew the half of it.
Right.
Oh man, it's been a fun one. I'm going to say it right. MickorAstroMick. There we go.
There
We're
you be. There you be.
pretty good. We're in the final 10 minutes, sir. In the final 10 minutes, I give my guests an opportunity. If there's socials, merchandise, anything that you want to get off your chest, I don't give a damn what you do. My platform's your platform. Whatever you want to say, you
All
put it out
right.
there, sir.
Well, let me think. Mick or Astromik is pretty much me across all socials. I am on TikTok. TikTok sucks.
Yeah.
Instagram's where I make my money. Instagram is the big one. It is hooked into my Facebook, so you'll see some of the stuff pop up on my Facebook as well. That's more family and friends though. So, and I don't really get on there much because it's kind of a dumpster fire. Anyways,
Ain't it?
but yeah, mostly Instagram. You're gonna see me on there. You're going to see me at all the shows, especially if you're in the Detroit metro area. If you're in Chicago, now I'll probably be making my way down to West Virginia a little bit
Oh
more
yeah.
often.
Come on.
Yeah, trying to make it around to Ohio a little bit more, but if if some of the places can get a little bit more action for me, I'll go and enjoy a show somewhere else. Um, I do have a sponsor. It's Dubby.
Okay.
You can use my code Astro.
Some energy drinks and such like that. So, and I think that is about it. If you see me at a show, don't be afraid to come up and say hello.
Say hello to MickorAstroMick, baby. Well,
That's right.
I'm glad you came and joined us Friday and Saturday as well. I'm glad you had a good time and glad we met and you're on the podcast telling your tales. Maybe we'll get you back in the future and we'll get some updates from you because I need you to keep me posted, man. I'm trying to stay up to date, but it's crazy out there. It's hard to keep up with.
Absolutely, it would be an honor. I love coming on. I love doing shows. So yeah, if you ever want me on, just drop me a line. I'm not usually doing anything on a Wednesday night, and much any night really, unless I'm at a wrestling show.
Hell yeah. Hey, man. You just said earlier, if somebody will give me the action, I'll go see their product. I like that because, hey man, you're the one making the decisions. It's your money you're playing with. If you want me at your show, give me a product worth coming and seeing. So I'm glad you put that out there, man. You just can't be throwing shit at the wall and see if it sticks, man. Make it work. Make MickorAstroMick come to your show. Damn it! If you want to get your shit together.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, man. I tell you what, I will ask you to hang on the line with me, sir. To the listeners, hey man, you've seen it all week. We've been putting out the matches. It was a crazy show. Go watch it again. It was a crazy good time. We've got some guests coming up that's really gonna make you scratch your head and wonder what the hell Spooky Lou's doing. But I'm doing what the hell I want, so you'll see. It'll be a good time. In the meantime, treat each other with kindness and respect. Go out there and live your dreams. Don't take no shit from nobody. Do things your way. We're going to see you on the next one, baby. Spooky Lou loves you. We're out of here.
Boom.
Bow.